Jason Todd, Robin Red Hood, DCAU. Jason Todd was the second person to take up the mantle of Robin and a sidekick to Batman. Sometime after his presumed death, he took on the identity of Red Hood, seeking revenge against his former mentor. History. Origins. Jason Todd was an orphan whose life had already been full of hardships before he met Bruce Wayne, who was the vigilante Batman. His brother Danny had fallen in with a street gang named the Wolves, whose psychotic leader Alpha made new members take an initiation rite, which was to be on the lookout for the police. Danny did so, but fell to his death after the fire escape he was on collapsed. Batman had seen this and went after the Wolves, but was already beaten to the punch by Jason, who had come to their hideout to take revenge. Bruce was impressed by him fighting everyone there, but stopped him from shooting at them. Batman was an inspiration to Jason since he was someone he could relate to, and his room's walls were filled with pictures of him along with his allies as well as villains. Bruce later decided to take him in and soon started training his sidekick, especially since he had felt lonely after Dick Grayson leaving. Bruce's butler Alfred Pennyworth and vigilante partner Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, however believed it was premature, also noticing that Jason seemed very violent. Alfred brought this up and also stated that Jason seemed obsessed to be a Robin, but Batman denied there was anything to be concerned about, stating he realized that only Batman can consider him ready for the role. One night however, Jason followed Batman without his permission when he went after a bunch of criminals and helped him fight a group of criminals that included Firefly. Though Batman and Jason were successful in defeating them, Batman became furious at Jason, which led to a heated argument between the two at the Batcave. Alfred intervened, telling them to stop or simply give up being crime fighters. Jason told Bruce that he was not like Dick and just wanted to earn his trust. Batman agreed to officially make him Robin. Batman and Robin became an effective crime-fighting duo, but Jason showed a penchant for violence, making the supervillain suffer both psychologically and physically. When the Scarecrow struck Gothamites with fear using an inaudible frequency, Batman, Batgirl and Jason attempted to stop him. Jason ripped Scarecrow's mask off, paralyzing him in fear and throwing him off the GCN building. Batman criticized him for nearly killing him, though Jason stated that they'll be better off without such people and it will send a message to their rogues gallery. When Alfred later confronted Bruce about it, the latter admitted he knew that Jason was deliberately acting this way. The young vigilante however felt betrayed after hearing this and ran off with his Batcycle. Jason struck out on his own and started brutally beating up any criminals he encountered, though he would be far more sparing to ordinary criminals than Batman's rogues, whom he showed no mercy. His most brutal fight occurred with Killer Croc, who was trying to steal equipment from a battleship docked at Gotham Harbor. Jason gunned him down with an automatic rifle, but Croc survived after falling into the sea. Jason's violent rampage, however, was negatively impacting the image of both Batman and Commissioner James Gordon, who realized it needed to be stopped. He finally decided to strike at the Joker, about which Bruce learned from Sid the Squid. Jason later ambushed Harley Quinn, who had pretended to break up with the Joker, and asked her to help him take down her ex-boyfriend. She pretended to agree, giving Joker the opportunity to subdue him with a high-voltage shock from behind using his joy buzzer. Joker took Jason to his hideout and stated that leaving him alive would ensure Jason would kill off Gotham's criminals sooner or later. He then started beating him to death with a crowbar and ordered his henchmen to take Harley away when she asked him to stop. Batman however soon arrived and told him to stop, but Joker instead gave his gang the orders to shoot, forgetting that the hydrogen in the tanks lying around was combustible. As the tanks exploded, Joker was buried under his car and Batman released Jason from his restraints. He requested him to kill the clown in revenge, stating he was dying, but Bruce instead rescued the Joker. Jason tried stopping him, but fell over some tanks which soon exploded. Batman escaped with Joker and unsuccessfully searched the wreckage for him. This continued for months, till he accepted Jason was dead. Jason however had survived, grabbing a stray parade balloon to escape. Return to Gotham. For years later, Jason returned to Gotham City and started stalking both his fellow Batman family members as well as members of their rogues gallery, in order to carry out his plan for revenge. While spying on Deathstroke and his partner, Sonny, Jason discovered that they were in cahoots with Lex Luthor to assassinate Batman. He slipped a message to Barbara, warning her that Slade was leading Bruce into a trap. Later, Jason would visit the carnival the Joker was hiding in, but not without being noticed. He was cornered by Joker and his henchman called Straight Man, who seemed superhumanly strong and invulnerable. Luckily for Jason, Joker opted to escape rather than finish him off. Batman, after finding out that the Bat family's stalker had been Jason all along, went after him and found him at the old hideout of the Wolves where they first met. His former protege explained that he had decided to discover his inner self after his near-death experience and showed that he had now taken up the identity of Red Hood, based on the mask Danny was made to wear by the wolves. As he promised to catch Joker soon and to go after the other villains as well, Batman asked him to come back with him to the Batcave. Jason refused and stated he could be extremely careless while trying to hold on to those he loved, pointing out he ignored that the abandoned hideout was stocked with filled-up whiskey bottles which smelled of gasoline. He proceeded to escape after firing at the bottles to create an explosion. Jason later went to the Wayne Manor disguised as Batman, and when Alfred finished telling the new Robin Tim Drake his story, came down to the Batcave. He stated that what Joker did to Jason was his greatest mistake, but promised he wouldn't let it happen to anyone again. Tim upon hearing this realized he was a fake, as the real Batman would never apologize, and proceeded to toss him over. Jason commended him for seeing through his act and was soon attacked by Alfred, but dodged the bolus he fired at him before knocking him out with a batarang. Tim rushed at him in anger, which he used to beat him up. After he fell unconscious, he dragged him upstairs. Jason later reunited with Dr. Leslie Tompkins, who had treated him kindly in his younger days, while stealing medicines from her clinic. She asked him to stop, but he shoved her aside and stated he needed it for saving lives. Batman, after receiving a call from her, used the Bat computer to find all locations he had been spotted in past, and went in search for him along with Batgirl. Red Hood later barged into the Iceberg Lounge after Straight Man finished knocking out Mr. Wing, the Penguin's henchman. He used a dart gun to knock out Joker and then fired a hail of darts at Straight Man, before knocking him over to the iceberg. Jason then used a grenade to make the chandelier fall at him, resulting in his death. Before leaving with the Joker, he told the Penguin to inform Batman that Red Hood had come by. When Batman was later leaving the Iceberg Lounge, Jason knocked him and Batgirl out with darts. Taking the unconscious Batman to his hideout in the sewers, he forced him to make a choice between killing the Joker in the same way the clown tried killing him years ago, or watching Tim drown. Batman however refused and secretly told Tim to create pressure in the pipe Jason was using to drown him in a tank. Jason shot Joker's arm when he tried escaping after freeing himself, before handing him a gun so Batman may have to fire in self-defense. The clown however sent a homing signal to Straight Man, who soon bust in through the floor before grabbing Red Hood and getting attacked by Batman after Tim freed himself. Batman, after realizing his attacks had no effect, used Straight Man's own strength against him by dodging his punches and causing him to destroy the old pipes carrying water. As Jason was washed away, he struck the crowbar into the wall to avoid falling. Batman and Tim tried rescuing him, with Bruce telling him to come back with him to the manor. Jason rejected, stating he'll eventually turn violent again, and unhooked himself of the crowbar and told him to rescue Tim, who could still be saved. Batgirl was later unable to find any trace of Jason, but he was rescued by Deathstroke and Sunny, with the former telling him that he would make a fine new recruit and could find a home amongst them. Abilities. Lazarus enhanced capabilities. As of his perfect resurrection by the Lazarus Pit, he no longer ages and regenerates from injuries at a very fast rate, allowing him to perfectly cheat death on several occasions. His strength, speed, stamina, agility, reflexes, and durability has been further enhanced. Peak human conditioning. Through years of intense and extensive training from Batman plus further training after his resurrection, Jason is at the peak of human potential, almost on Batman's level. By matching his former mentor in combat, he has proven that he is far superior to Olympic-level athletes, just as Batman is. His strength, speed, agility, reflexes, stamina, senses, and durability are practically superhuman. He represents the pinnacle of human physical abilities, much like Batman and Nightwing. Peak human strength. Jason's strength is at the peak of human potential. He is strong enough to break through a submarine hull with a single punch, lift a man over his head and throw him, casually kick an airplane door off the hinges, send Deathstroke flying with a kick, and flip Susie Sue on her head. She weighs 600 pounds. Red Hood's strength and brute force is comparable to Batman's and is seemingly almost superhuman, showcased when he struck Lobo to the floor. Even Supergirl commented that he is far stronger than any human and no human should be this powerful. Peak human speed. He can run and move at an incredibly fast pace, faster than normal humans. He has outran a moving vehicle and hit Green Arrow before he can even react. While unarmed, Jason once blitzed an entire GCPD SWAT team before anyone could even pull the trigger. His fast feat of speed to date is accurately shooting a gang of thugs faster than the eye can follow, despite guns already being aimed at him. He is faster than Batman, but not Nightwing. Peak human stamina. His highly trained and developed body generates less fatigue toxins than normal humans, allowing him to hold his breath underwater for longer periods of time, and physically exert himself at peak capacity for a few hours before any toxins begin to impair him. Peak human agility. Jason's agility is superior to any Olympic-level athlete that's competed. He can coordinate his body with great balance, flexibility, and dexterity. This allows him to perform gymnastic and acrobatic moves. Peak human reflexes. Similar to his speed, his reflexes are honed to an extraordinary rate and are borderline superhuman. He is capable of dodging rapid gunfire at close range from multiple gunmen. Peak human durability. His muscles and bones are much harder and denser than a normal human's, making him extremely durable and resilient. He survived being blasted with a bazooka, multiple nuclear explosions underwater, being set ablaze by a flamethrower, and withstood blows from superhuman opponents such as Deathstroke, Frankenstein, and more. Master martial artist, Jason Todd is a highly skilled combatant, extensively trained by Batman. Although he was always more of a brawler as Robin, following his resurrection he traveled the world to further his training, learning every form of martial arts he could, just as Batman did, demonstrating himself to be far more skilled than before. This is shown when he fought his former mentor and Nightwing to a standstill when Jason held his own against the Green Arrow in a sword fight, and when he overpowered Tim Drake at Titan's Tower. Jason's fighting style focuses on brutality, strength, and speed. He is shown to have mastered over half a dozen fighting styles and has proven to be a master of Aikido, Capoeira, Silat, Karate, Ninjutsu, Savate, Krav Maga, Muay Thai, and Taekwondo. He has effectively combined the martial arts he has mastered into a unique harmonious style that suits his strengths. Master marksman. Having been trained by Batman, Jason has perfect aim when using batarangs and later, firearms. To increase his skill with firearms he went a step further than Batman on his journey around the world to learn from the masters how to kill a target with different types of guns. His precision and accuracy is almost on par with Deadshot's. Jason rarely ever misses his targets. Expert tactician. Although contradictory to his once childish nature, Jason's learned to survey his targets before attacking and killing them. He spends long hours scouting targets and assuring that they deserve his brand of justice. He is well versed in military-grade tactics, strategies, and protocols. Master of stealth. Due to his training with Batman and his further training around the world, he is a master of stealth, espionage, infiltration, and sabotage. Jason is capable of breaching very high-security facilities with ease and without being detected. He is skilled enough to infiltrate Tim Drake's hideout without his knowledge. Also, he has shown enough stealth prowess to track down and scout Batgirl's top-secret hideout, despite her intelligence. Jason even snuck away from Supergirl while using her super hearing. Expert acrobat. In his training as Robin, he had been taught acrobatics and gymnastics routines. He further practices his abilities as the Red Hood, even going so far as to chase the Bat family around just to test his speed. Skilled swordsman. Jason has been shown to be skilled enough to hold his own against the Green Arrow in a sword fight until he ultimately lost. Expert detective. Jason has shown some expertise as a detective. Multilingualism. Taught by Batman, Jason is fluent in several languages, having spoken English, French, German, Italian, and various others, with Russian being his weakest. Genius-level intellect. After being adopted by Bruce, Jason received an excellent education and tutoring from both private tutors, and Bruce thus has deep knowledge in many subjects, including science, math, medicine, geography, criminology, world history, and English. He has also proven to be a highly efficient criminal strategist and organized as the Red Hood. Expert bomb assembly and defusal. Taught by a world-renowned bomb expert in Russia, Jason is able to assemble and defuse a wide variety of conventional explosive devices, from improvised to military-grade designs. It is yet to be determined whether or not he can defuse nuclear devices, in contrast to Batman and Damian's demonstrated ability. Expert vehicular driver. Jason has driven a variety of vehicles from cars and boats to being trained in the Middle East by an ace pilot to fly helicopters. Abilities: hand-to-hand combat, advanced. Martial art. Lock picking. Peak human condition. Stealth. Surveillance. Tactical analysis. Weaponry. Throwing. Stick fighting. Firearms. Paraphernalia. Equipment. Bat rope, formerly. Batsuit, formerly stolen from Batman. Utility belt, formerly. Transportation. Batcycle, formerly. Weapons. Batarang. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kayashin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Ben Phillips.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.